Hey, welcome back to Left 4 Dead Garage. We are still on the 93 GMC, that guy right there. If you've seen the previous video, which is absolutely terrible because I messed up the GoPro settings, we did a little shop brake kit, drilled slotted rotors, new pads and lines, and 2 new calipers. And the rear, which I should have the wheels back off because I need to adjust the e-brake, we did a rear disc conversion. Looks pretty good. So, that being said, what's next on the agenda? Well, I'll tell you what's on the agenda. This is what I call a 10-bolt buster. Got a nice little kit from Nitrous Outlet. It is the Weekend Warrior, X Series Weekend Warrior. That guy right there. It comes with a pile of jets. I don't think I've ever had seen a nitrous kit with that many jets. But it comes with E85 and regular gasoline jets. Got a purge solenoid. I had to go get some studs because that plate is about 1 inch thick. So what we got here, got a nitrous and a fuel solenoid, couple fittings, a nitrous and a fuel from solenoid to plate. These are brackets that the solenoids go to, and they mount to either the throttle body, carburetor studs, or wherever you want to put them. Got some bottle brackets and a main feed, a dashboard main feed line, and the bottle. The bottle is in the truck. So, gotta get my ducks in a row and start mounting this thing. I guess step 1 would be pull the throttle body loose. Probably can't see because it's dark. But yeah, I also have to wire in that line lock. And then I did a residual valve right there, and that's all in the other video. But let's tear into this thing, get this thing wired up, and hopefully get it down the road this weekend. Get it out of here. So then we move on to something else, like this guy right here that I've not covered yet. So let me get situated and we'll jump into this. All right, so here's the plate on here. I just lifted the holly up out of the way. Went to O'Reilly's, and like I mentioned, these longer studs, they stock these Cometic studs. They're pretty nice. Got like a, I think it's a 7/32 hex on the top. So run those in, kind of snug them up. You don't have to double nut anything. Plate obviously has a right way to go on. I'm guessing front to back is your discretion. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put the fuel to the back. You know what? I might regret this, but I'm gonna put the fuel to the front because it may be easier for me to make the loop since the fuel supply is back here. Also, I want to replace this fuel line because, you know, this truck's not been together maybe a year, and some of these hoses are like a fire hazard waiting to happen. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that hose down there. Not all of them are like that, but that one is scary. So I'm gonna probably need a dash six male to male with some sort of 1/8 inch port. That way I can get my fuel supply right there at the throttle body. I thought about going on the regulator side since it's blocked off, and we use an external regulator on this one because the Holley regulator caused me tons of problems. It would just randomly stop up and deadhead the system, and then either burn the pump up or blow the in-tank rubber connector off of the pump to the sending unit at the pickup. So I'm going to try to find, I might have some, I have some AN fittings in here, so I'm going to try to find that. If not, I'm going to order it. Let me get this throttle body bolted back on and we'll proceed to the next step. Alright, back on this thing. It's Friday morning. I hope to have this truck done by this weekend. Let's see, let me give you a recap. Or doing the nitrous, I've got, probably hard to tell, got solenoids mounted, running the nitrous and purge solenoid at the back over here. If I had a light, I'd show you. So the wiring on this truck is just so, I can't do it, make it happy. Micro switch here, managed to make that work. Got the progressive linkage on the Holly and the extended throttle arm. Progressive linkage makes it easier to drive, and the arm takes a little bit of the effort out of the pull on the throttle. So does that progressive, because you're only opening the front butterflies. Getting fuel out of right here, runs around to the fuel solenoid. I found out that you can't run nitrous. Now, I may be wrong, I may have read it wrong, but I've looked and looked. I feel sure that I'm right here. You know, the Holly has the ability to do a progressive controller, but you only have so many inputs, and so 2 of my inputs are fan, which are designated for fan for Holly. Input number 1, I believe, or A, is orange wire, and I use it for my AC high idle kick. Well, to run a nitrous system through the Holly, you have to use 3 inputs. I've got a paper here. So, as you can see, this top one, orange, input 1, ground, optional, connect to trigger AC relay. So that's what I high idle with. But if you go down here to the other one, the orange has to be master enable. And it says required. So, and then switch grounded trigger for nitrous is also required, and then the gray wire down here is to the relay, or your solid state relay that we could do progressive. Pulse width management, or I believe is how it does it. And a solid state is the only thing that'll work that, from what I was reading. So we're just going to go old school, run off the micro switch right off the throttle. So I got that sorted out. As far as the wiring, I got this little 6 circuit deal here. So you got nitrous arm, bottle heater, purge, and then the roll control. That roll control over there we did for the brakes. And then I got to get another relay today. Also got to get some more 1032 screws, because I don't have anything that small. I probably wasted too much time last night looking for stuff, but I found enough stuff to just to stick it together and hold it there. That way I could kind of get an idea. Mounted the bottle inside. I'm going to have to go to work and make some spacers, because it's just not. Let me get a light. Here's a light. As you can see, the step in the floor, this is where he wanted it. So I'm going to have to put a 1-inch, that's a piece of 1-inch square tubing, just to get an idea. Now, it's not at the optimum angle, but it's about as good as I can get, because we're limited on space here and we're limited on space here. So I'm going to go to work and see if we got any 1-inch square aluminum scrap. Maybe I can mill it to length, knock a few holes in it, and we'll mount the bottle that way. The back mount is mounted, so I mean, it's loose, but you know, I'm going to come through the floor here with the bottle, with the main line, just coil the excess up under the seat, run it over there. Oh, and that other one is a bottle heater for one of the relays up there. But in the diagram, I have to have a pressure switch wired into this as well. So I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. I'll message them and see what they want to do. But yeah, oh, and let's see, and then this will be for the line lock. That cord, and it sits in here. So I'll snake the wires under the carpet, and then we'll bring the number 4 braided line through the floor right there, because I think it's probably got 20 feet of line. Well, you don't need 20 feet of line in this truck, but luckily I had a few nitrous lines and stuff sitting around, because I ended up needing 1 or 2, I think just one maybe, to make this setup work. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna jump on getting this, give me an idea on this wiring harness laid out, and as soon as the hardware store opens, I'm running across town.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S. Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away. Competition Product, race parts sold by racers since 1970.
All right, it's not been a very productive day. I feel like all I've done is hit my head, watch my thumb bleed, and run around town. So, but I do have everything bolted where it's supposed to go. I went and got some hardware this morning. Solenoids are wired in, everything except the trigger switch. What else? Oh, and I have to bring the trigger through the momentary switch. The yellow wire you see laying back there, I've got to put in this harness here. This harness is power from nitrous switch, purge switch, bottle heater, and line lock. And line lock's up there. And it's also power wire to the bottle heater, the black wire. This little trick, I don't know, you may have seen it. You may actually have the tool. But this little trick actually works pretty decent when trying to get this wire and this type of loom here. So let me show you what I do. Take a wrench, kind of force it in there like that, and then just keep it lean backwards like so, and just keep feeding her on through there, and it'll load that stuff in that loom, because this stuff will make you say funny words sometimes trying to do it by hand, or trying to put a single wire in, which I'm still going to have to do in a spot or two. I'm going to have to jump out of it to go to the throttle switch, the wide open throttle switch, but we can handle that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loom every bit of this, that way I won't need it all, but that way I'm only dealing with one deal. So, let me see if I can get this stuff fed through, and pray that I get this thing finished soon. Alright, little update here. I swear this is taking me forever. The bottle is mounted, the heater is wired. Here's the heater wire. I kind of wish I'd have ran this under the carpet. Now looking at it, I could have come up right here, but I don't know. Main line goes to the floor. It's all coiled up. Obviously, let's see. Let me put the Holly dash back up here. Alright, ignition's on. You can tell with that annoying ass sound. So, system's armed. I'm not going to spray the nitrous through the motor. It's sitting here. Bottle heater works. Purge. This should have some pressure in the line. So, yeah. Go in the line lock. Yep. Got my mess all vacuumed up. Put this seat back in. I've got, what do I got left? Tidy up, fix the Oh, I need to fix that throttle cable before I put the seat in. Tidy everything back up. I still gotta ungoober looking whatever I got going on over here. Tidy that up. Put the cover back on. Finish the micro switch spacer. I made one at work that works, so it's probably a little taller. It'll work a little better. Made that guy. It'll replace this one right here. So I just need to go over everything. Best I can tell, there's no leaks in the nitrous system, no leaks in the fuel system. I need to check the lines to the plate from the solenoids because I don't think I tightened those. Man, I think it's almost done. So let me finish tidying up and I'll get back to you. All right, before I go in, I guess I'll do a little recap on everything here. Got new plug wires on, wrap that first header tube there. That stuff really needs to be done with the header off the truck, and I tried it wet this time. I soaked it. I hate it. It's terrible. It's like it fell apart. That unfortunately it's blue. Got that line right there replaced. It goes to the throttle body. Nitrous is on. Got this. I know it's not the best thing, but the Sniper doesn't play well with the billet throttle cables or throttle cable mount. So I went and got this Mr. Gasket. It's the same thing as this one with the kick down in it, but it's supposed to go on the throttle body like that, and it ended up down here. But this arm and that nitrous plate jacked the throttle body way up high, so I'm going to run them independently. And I spaced the TV cable bracket out about 1/4 of an inch to get the cable moored in line. I'll drive it tomorrow and make sure it shifts right, because if you don't get that right, goodbye 700 R4. Let's see, got all the blue median relays set over there. I know this wiring is just not, I am not happy with it. It needs to be, that factory wiring you see down there, that stuff needs to be just thinned out. And I mean, I'd talked to him about that when we first done this motor, but I was like, let's just get it sorted and situated before we start removing stuff. I think the next step is we need to start thinning that stuff out, get rid of stuff, and I'll be able to clean up the rest of the wiring that we've added. Tomorrow I'll test drive it. Hopefully everything's good to go. I mean, I've drove it around the neighborhood a little bit, but that hadn't went far. Nitrous activates like it's supposed to, so hopefully he's happy with it. Hopefully everything goes well. I set the rev limiter on the Sniper to 6,000, pulled 4 degrees of timing. It's only got 50 horsepower jets in the plate now. I may swap them to 100 tomorrow, but I may just leave them 50 until he changes the spark plugs. So, but I went ahead and pulled 4 degrees of timing out of it for the 100 shot. So for every 100 horsepower, typically is 4 degrees of timing. But I guess that's it on this video for this old pickup, and we're gonna move on to something else. Got plenty of stuff lined up. Thanks for watching Left 4 Dead Garage, and we'll see you on the next one.